the Tokay Gecko, a misunderstood species that gets an absolutely awful reputation in the hobby. Now, with this species being as misunderstood as it is, I definitely think there are some things to clear up and some things you guys should know about the Tokay Gecko, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Stick around while we talk about some cool Tokay facts and why I think Tokays are the best little dudes. Let's get into it. Starting out with number one, we got an IRL example, and that is going to be number one, you can actually make Tokay geckos friendly. If you've been a fan of the channel, you know that I have a lot of Tokays, 27 to be exact, that number always rising with the babies we're producing, and most of them are grumpy little things. It's the average Tokay experience. But don't let that fool you, that's because they're breeding, and I want them to focus on breeding and being good parents and taking care of the babies so I can sell them and make a profit for their light stay on. However, taming a Tokay gecko is really not a super complicated thing. People just think Tokay geckos suck. More people now think that you can tame Tokay. Sorry, buddy, hit you a little too fast there. Some people think you can tame Number two, they're jumpy. People think you can tame Tokays, but it's gonna take so long, months and years to get them going. And while that may be true for a specific number, you know, the personality can be different with these guys, the fact of the matter is it doesn't take months and years to tame Tokays down. I tamed down Bert here in about 2 weeks. We were doing a lot of shows back then. I had a lot of Tokays on the table, and I picked one up out of just randomly one day and started holding it at the shows. I did the average Tokay thing, and then it didn't. I did that for about 20 minutes and put it up, then did it again. Next show did it again, and then 2 weeks later, he's now my ambassador animal that I ended up not selling. I didn't do any special tricks. There's no special taming method. There's no special Tokay gecko. Bert is captive bred and born. That may play a difference. But the truth is, I just held them. I held him, and he realized I'm not a threat, and he calmed down. Tokay geckos, I think a lot of it as monitor lizards, where it's like a switch in the brain. The animal understands that you are not a threat to them, and you don't do anything that is threatening to them and their life. They chill out, and once that flip is switched, they kind of are good to go. I don't hold Bert that often because I have so much stuff to do, and I usually like just observing my animals, not really getting hands-on and picking them up. I just don't see the need in it. And I'll go months and months without holding Bert until one day I need to do a video, or I just feel like holding him, and I grab him and he's fine. The thing that's been changing his temperament a little bit has been the fact that we did recently pair Bert. Bert is 100% patternless, I believe, and we have. So with his het girl, we should be able to get some patternless babies, which would be pretty rad to have over here. So we did pair him. He's gotten a little grumpy since he's defending the new love of his life, which I gave you a girlfriend, and now you're getting snappy with me. But as you can see here, once he's out of the enclosure, he is good to go. No squawks, no barks, no coconuts, just a kind of jumpy gecko. Look how cute he is. He's gonna jump. That was dumb. Moving on though, let's get into the second topic at hand, and that is going to be one that I didn't think needed to be said, but apparently does. Number two, Tokay geckos are not like crested geckos. Here we go. Tokay geckos do not hail from New Caledonia, which all the New Cals do. Cresteds, gargoyles, chihuahuas, lychees, everything like that. Tokays hail from Indonesia, or more recently have established an invasive population in southern Florida. Those two places could not be more apart. It's humid in both, but New Caledonia stays in around the 70s, give or take the temperature, whereas Indonesia and southern Florida, that gets hot and muggy. I've seen people from time to time not caring for these geckos because they believe every gecko is like a crested gecko, which I guess I can get if you're a new person, but I'm here to tell you that is not the case. Tokay geckos, while yes, do need high humidity, they also require heat. That's why we have nice lights and then CHEs on all of ours, and we keep our ambience in here very warm during the seasons. Basking, I like giving these guys UVB. There is debate on whether it is necessary, but I see them basking in it, and so I use it, and I haven't had any problems, only good things. Tokay geckos also do not eat Pangea or Rapashi. These are insectivores. Insectivores means they eat insects. There's a reason why it is called crested gecko food and not Tokay gecko food. Pie is up for debate. I haven't seen them eat it, but I don't know, maybe they could. Maybe they would like it. Tokay gecko is not like a crested gecko. They have very different care requirements. They're very jumpy lizard. Very different care requirements. The only similarity is the fact that they both like humidity, but that is pretty much where the similarities end. One of them being Tokays are much cooler than cresteds. moving on. Real quick, boys and girls, before we continue on with today's video, I just want to talk about the website for a second. Over at DakotaBlueExotics.com or dbprojectjungle.com, I'm not sure when this video is going to be released, we have a host of bioactive products for you. This includes everything you'll need for a bioactive vivarium, including a variety of plants, ferns, begonias, 4-inch bigger plants, 2-inch tropical plants, air plants, Artelensia, bromeliads, and so much more. Substrates, isopods, springtails, bark. We got dirt and we got cork. What more could you want? Personally done bioactive kits where we take the guesswork out for you and give you a full kit that is ready to put in your enclosure and then for your gecko to enjoy. Absolutely amazing place. We have a host of incredible plants that I would love to offer you guys that are all 100% reptile safe. If you guys want to check it out, head on over to DakotaBlueExotics.com or DB Project Jungle. I'll know when I'm editing this. Or check the link down there in our bio. Thank you guys so much. Let's get back into the video. Now let's get into the third topic. It's the reason why I absolutely love this species and have so many of them, and it is the coolest thing to experience. That is the fact that number 3, Tokay geckos are actually parental. Unlike other species, the Anolis carolinus, the Calamari, everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need me to use peasant talk? The green anole and the neon day gecko. All those species, yes, all those species, yes, do live in a community and they can leave babies with the parents. They are not maternal like the Tokay gecko. It's been documented, proven with anecdotal and factual experience that the Tokay geckos are actually parental. Where they lay their eggs, either the mom or dad will start guarding those eggs. Once those eggs hatch, the parents will guard the baby. At times, for the first couple of weeks to couple of months, you will actually find the Tokay geckos staying very close to their parents. When danger comes, hence a giant ape opening their door to salvation, they will see the babies hiding underneath the mother's chin to defend him. I have heard things of Tokay geckos helping their babies to hunt. I haven't personally seen that. Another cool little fact, I don't know if it's cool, in fact, to get the baby's gut fauna going and getting a jump starter in that, baby Tokay geckos will eat the poop of the adult geckos to get that little beneficial bacteria going. Might be one of the reasons why Tokay geckos do so much better, the babies thrive so much better when they're with their parents in the beginning versus separating them. I've done both methods and I found that they grow faster in here, they just look better, and they do seem to thrive a lot more with their parents rather than if you're artificially incubating and separating out of the egg. Gotten to the point where I don't do it anymore. It's like extremely rare circumstances now if I ever do it, but I haven't done it in a while. Most of the time, it's easier for me, it's better for the gecko. Why not just leave them in? You get to see the incredible experience of adult geckos taking care of their... That was a cool little swing. Wish I caught that on camera, buddy. How about you do that in frame next time for the viewers? This cool experience of Tokays taking care of their babies. It's absolutely fantastic. It's why I love them. It's the main reason. I absolutely love seeing that experience, especially in these nice enclosures. Being able to see a baby Tokay frolic in a 2x2x2 with his parents not far behind, there's no better thing experiencing it. Let's get into the next topic, which is going to be number 4. Tokay geckos actually come in a lot of different morphs. This is a pretty recent thing, Tokay geckos having a lot of morphs. At least it's a new thing where it's available widely to the public. I'm sure there was some underground stuff, people trading out Tokay geckos, working on their own stuff, proving stuff out, but up to this point in time, you can really get pretty much, I would say, the vast majority of Tokay gecko mutations that are available you can find online right now. Includes stuff that I've only been able to see like this year or last year. Up to this point, Tokay geckos have, how many do we got? Reduced, Diablo, Candy, Paradox, Green Galaxy, Granite, Haya, Stripe, Blueberry, Blue Granite, Platinum, albino, positive, negative, caramel. At this point in time, Tokay geckos have around 15 different mutations that we can get here in America. I don't know what you Canadians and Europeans are doing, and I know you in know you guys in Indonesia have us beat, but we're closing in. We're closing the gap. It's absolutely fantastic. They come in a variety of array. Although many people do believe that the normal variation, the blue Tokay with the red polka dots, is the most beautiful, it's super red. There's 16 morphs. Absolutely great mutations out there, including ones that just give a blue head and green body, ones that creates a sparkle of craziness like the Green Galaxy. Granted, my personal favorite because I'm an elder emo. Gray gecko with black spots, absolutely incredible. Super red, it makes it red as the name suggests. Platinum creating yellow spots and beautiful eyes. Rearranging the pattern of the polka dots and creating black eyes. Diablo, yellow polka dots with black eyes. The list goes on and on. Not too much further because we don't have that many morphs, but it's incredible to see. People... Why did it smack so hard? I don't think people give enough credit. There is some great potential with the Tokay Geckos. We are just now, to this day and age, getting combination morphs, the ghoul morph, pairing a Diablo to a super red and getting a double visual. That is just starting. People in the States right now are just barely cracking the combo mutations and then getting the visual hets going. So there's still so much work to do with the Tokay Geckos. They're not just biting little machines. They also come in cool colors too. Get your Tokay Geckos today. Dakota Blue. Rounding off this list, number 5, Tokay Geckos are actually really smart. It is, from my opinion, as a high school dropout to start talking to a camera for a living and pairing geckos to get babies, that I think Tokay Geckos are a pretty intelligent species, a superior intellect than your average gecko. Compare the intelligence a lot to, say, a crested gecko. Crested geckos, you take one look at them, man, and it's just... it's 2 brain cells bopping around in there. I mean, gee, what do they have going on in there? Nothing. There ain't nothing going on. In my opinion, why they're so friendly, why you can tame them down really fast, and why you can just hold them and they just this blank stare in their eyes. Whereas this right here, this is a thinking man's gecko. Look, this thing is calculating. Look, it gets a little chin rub. See, it moves its head. It looks at the camera. It calculates the trajectory that it needs to jump out of my hand onto the camera in order to get a speedy escape. However, it is too late. It failed because its brain, while smarter than other geckos, is still running on Windows 95. Well, we're Windows 10, or I don't know computers. That's a big reason why Tokay Geckos are so defensive and they're a little bit more cranky than their other gecko counterparts. That's because they're a smarter animal. We are giants, brother. Could you imagine something this big scooping you up and being like, hello? Hang on. Terrifying. That's nightmare fuel. I couldn't imagine that. But Tokays can. They live in that hell. Pretty fucking scary, man. And I would be just as scared as them. I'd be like, nah. I ain't taking those hands. Those are the hands of death. God is coming down from the heavens to grab me. I ain't about to let him take me. And so they bark and they bite and they try to get away because obviously if something like that was coming at you, I'm sure you would try to do everything in your power not to go in those giant mitts. However, we can take that one step further. Over time, they can understand that we are not a threat and then calm down. Then you can just do this with the Tokay. Wow. You used to try to bite me. Go for it. Nice. You didn't hit the hand. Give it a B+. Parental gecko, defensive, but can tame down and understand that we're not a threat over time. Great hunter, beautiful colors. I don't remember the rest of the stuff I said. Absolutely amazing gecko. We rate this gecko 11 out. Son of a bitch. We're gonna make that a 10 now. What do you think, folks? Did this change your mind on the Tokay Geckos? Do you think they're awesome and you're gonna be getting one today? Or do you still believe the myths that they are junkyard geckos? Always, if you guys want to learn more about Tokay Geckos, here's the last video we did about them, or a playlist with like 70 videos of Tokay Gecko content. I'm sure you'll find some good ones in there. Not all good ones, but some might be. As always, thank you so much for taking the time in your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.